We have big news. We have exciting news for you. Tell them what it is, Serena.
We are super excited to announce that we are starting our first membership this January 2024.
Yay! Membership.
So we're excited to let you know that we will be hosting a monthly membership where when you join, you will be
With us live in a Zoom room once a month for a workshop like we just hosted. It's going to be a workshop like that, one topic each month, a different topic. You might even help us come up with the following month's topic from inside our membership. Super excited to meet you. It was so fun meeting a few of you in our inaugural workshop. So we're really looking forward to that.
And when you are a member, you will also be receiving a monthly newsletter where I'm going to be a little more intimate and I'll be sharing the things that are working and the things that aren't working for me.
Yeah, like taking a tool that you've learned from the podcast and how you're implementing it and how well that worked, or maybe if it didn't work. And then Amma can put in my 2 bits worth. We'll see how that goes. But a membership newsletter and a membership live Zoom room workshop starting in January 2024. Can sign up through our Patreon link in the show notes. Yeah.
Yes, everything will be in the show notes, and we can't wait to see you there, listeners.
We can't wait. Yay.
Hi, my name is Serena. I am a mother to a toddler and currently pregnant.
And hi, I'm Lisa, also known as the Singing Amma. Amma means grandmother in Icelandic. I am a mama and an Amma.
At the beginning of my first pregnancy, I felt like I was lacking my village, which is why we are here creating a village with you, in hopes that you won't feel as isolated as I did.
I also felt the lack of a village in my early parenting years way back when. And I come to our village with a background in early childhood education. I have been coaching parents along their parenting journeys and supporting them for over 35 years.
Amma, Lisa, and I invite you to grab your latte
Or your tea
and come sit around the proverbial fire with us each week.
when we come together to have a conversation where we'll be talking all things parenting, keeping it real, keeping it raw, right here with you. Hi, I'm Elisa here to get us started in today's episode by reading one of my previously published magazine columns. After which, Mama Serena will join me, and together we'll dive deeper in to today's topic. Ready, set? Here we go. Distracted parenting. Dear Singing Amma, could you speak to the topic of technology and parenting? I try hard not to use my phone while I'm nursing my little one, but it seems to me that that's where it starts and cascades from there. I hate seeing kids asking over and over for acknowledgement from a plugged-in parent. Forget the plugged-in kids. It starts with us. Signed, Tech Parent Relief Request. Dear Tech Request, first of all, thank you for the question. This is a big concern that I share with you. Aside from modeling what we'd like our children to learn about screen time use from us, we face here a more sinister and multifaceted problem: distracted parenting, a term coined in psychological circles. It is a serious and growing concern. Not only have childhood trips to emergency hospital rooms seen a massive increase that correlates directly with smartphone and tablet popularity and use, but research is also pointing to a deeper problem. There is an ancient adult-child interrelational signaling system, which creates building blocks for social, emotional intelligence and development, as well as being the paving stone for an infant's and child's actual brain development. A newborn's field of vision is focused at 8 to 12 inches away. Exactly the distance between their eyes and the mama's eyes when we hold them in the crook of our arm, nursing or feeding them. During feeding and other in-arms times, human infants, even brand newborns, brains are gathering masses of information through ongoing cues they receive from their caregiver continually, unless it is interrupted. The more disturbing phenomenon related to device distraction is known as continuous partial attention. When our attention is continually interrupted, this innate signaling system is out of whack, and our child's very development is at risk. I told you it was sinister. This is all clinical research. Child development is relational. As I often say, we are social mammals. The learning and development of our young is dependent on and directly correlated to adult interactions with them. Responsive communication is the cornerstone for human learning and brain development. Of course, occasional inattention is a given and even normal and healthy. It is chronic distraction with the addictive overtones devices cause, which is the concern. Deliberate and intentional separations can be harmless, too, as children grow, like the go out and play variety. It is the unpredictability of a parent's response that is the growing problem. Distracted parents are non-responsive or inappropriately responsive. Given the addictive quality of these electronic devices, childhood exaggerated behavioral outbursts are on the rise as parents are missing earlier cues and children are forced to vie for the healthy attention they require and have an innate pre-existing wiring to achieve in order to feel safe and secure and to grow. If and when parents do shift their attention away from their screens to respond, they can become irritated or angry when their smartphone or tablet time, aka the addiction process, is interrupted, or when the child's behavior explodes. Perhaps even more concerning is the fact that if prolonged lack of attention occurs, some children will withdraw their attempts to be seen and heard. The psychological implications are deeply perturbing. What can we do? Most obviously, put down our phones or tablets. But how? Let's start at the beginning. While nursing or feeding baby, gaze into your baby's eyes. Coo to them. Talk and sing to them. Hold their tiny feet or hands. Smile at them. If you need to do something after you've connected for a while, or if babe dozes off, Read a book or a magazine article. Easier to put down a book or magazine, though absorbing, not psychologically addictive. Also, a behavioral pastime that is a healthy one to model. Create personal boundaries around the use of electronic devices. Choose specific times of the day to check for messages. Turn off the sound and the alerts. Put your phone or tablet out of reach. Choose one day a week or start with a half a day if your addiction won't give you a whole day right away. Dedicated as a family screen-free day. Make meal times and bedtimes screen-free times. Be with one another. When out with your children, leave the phone in the car. It'll be there for emergencies if you need it. Want to take pictures? Put the phone on airplane mode. Or you could bring an actual camera instead. Use an alarm clock instead of a phone. Wear a wristwatch. What a concept. Use a notepad and pen. Pen and paper? How about a paper calendar? Do whatever you can that limits the number of times you pick up a handheld device, because every time we pick them up, it is so easy to get pulled into that vortex that technology entices us into, and the rush of dopamine encourages.
Whoa. If
Right?
if if our listeners listen to at least one episode, I hope it's this one.
I was thinking that as I recorded it.
Yes.
Like, whoa.
This is
So
another
you listeners, thank you for listening to this episode.
and share it with someone that you think needs to hear it because
This information needs to get out.
yes, we did not become parents to be distracted the whole time and ignore our kids because of our phone. And I always just this topic is perfect because I always wanted to start a thread on Instagram where everybody posts a screenshot of their phone usage because I know Apple gives you statistics of how many minutes you spend on your phone.
Oh, right.
And,
You were
and
saying that. Where is that? Where do you find that? I don't think I have that.
so in my phone, I know if I just swipe left
Yeah.
from your homepage, if you swipe left,
On a iPhone. There
yes,
it is. But I'd have to initiate it. I hadn't had it initiated. Okay, this is important.
yes, and I'm embarrassed to say I'm gonna say mine out loud, even though it's embarrassing. But mine is 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
And I'm pretty conscious
Yeah.
of how much time I spend on my phone. And I know that our kids copy our habits. And I am very aware that I don't want my daughter staring at me, staring at my phone, and not
Yes.
staring at her.
So much of what our children will do as they grow up, even when they're 1.5, 2 years old, 3 years old, they mimic us. They learn from watching us. We can talk until we're blue in the face about, don't use your phone now, don't use the device now, like whatever, when they're older. But if we have taught them by what we've done and they've watched us when they're younger, that's what they will emulate. That's what they will do. That's what they are learning. They learn by watching and observing the world around them. And we, when they're very little, we are their world.
Yes. And it's funny because one of the things my daughter does most is everything's a phone to her. And she picks up the phone and says, "Hello, hi, Titi. Hi, mommy. Hi,
Yeah.
papi." And she's
Yeah.
always pretending like she's on the phone talking to somebody, which is weird because I don't talk that much on the phone. But everything is a phone for her, and that's what she does most. I
Well, I
just,
was just going to say, when I was a kid, I might have made believe about talking on a phone, but it would have been an old fashioned phone that was plugged into the wall and you picked up the receiver and held it on your ear and heard the dial tone.
a cinder block.
And so that's not unusual that a child would imitate talking on a phone. What
Mhm.
is unusual is that it's it's the cell phone. And also I really want to encourage people, don't hold phones up to your ear, do not put it on your head. There's so many studies coming out about that, the potential of that causing cancers in our brains.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
so
charging your phone next to you when you sleep.
yes,
Yeah.
turn it into airplane mode, put your phone on airplane mode. If you have to have it beside you because it is your alarm clock, put it on airplane mode, please. But if you need it on, because I don't actually like that young families now, if they turn off, like I turn off my phone at night. um when I'm at home, I have a landline, and so if there was ever an emergency, my landline phone would ring. um when I turn off my cell phone and it's my only phone, then I'm worried that what if
Yeah.
there's an emergency and I can't get a hold of my daughter, or you or somebody, if there's an emergency, like, so then if you're going to have it turned on, I want it to be far away from your bed.
Yes. And it could be on loud, but to keep it at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Not under your pillow, not right next to your
No.
body. Oh my gosh.
Gosh, no.
Yes. But I also how the writer that wrote to the person that wrote to you in the column,
Mm-hmm.
were they the one that mentioned nursing on the phone?
Yes.
Yes. And
Mm-hmm.
my thought on that is just you're desensitizing yourself to living in the moment. And
Yes.
because those times are the ones that fly right past you, and then you feel like you're stuck in it, but once you're out of it, you're like, oh, I wish I remembered more of those times. And like
Mm.
I think it just desensitizes you to being present.
I love that you brought that up. I love that because that is so much of what our devices do. They take us out of this moment where we are right now, and we go off somewhere else to look at what somebody else is doing somewhere else in the world. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
so much, right? But if we can talk another few moments about the importance of connecting with your infant when you are nursing or bottle feeding, but they're in your arms, that distance of the 12 inches, your eyes to their eyes, that is developing brain patterning right there. You're gazing into your baby's eyes. That's what your baby is looking for. That's what they are designed to find. That's what you are designed to do when you are nursing that child. And there is I mean, I only have 500 words to write my columns, but there's so much more information about how that can interrupt learning, intellectual learning, social, emotional learning, who they become as caring human beings happens in those first days and weeks and months of connecting with our babies when we're nursing. It is not the time to be on your phone. Sorry,
No.
mamas. Sorry, papas.
But it's like even with love, when you're in love with somebody and you stare into each other's eyes and there's that connection. There's
Mm-hmm.
like I don't even know if it's the right word, but sympathetic and empathetic connection, and it tunes you into tuning yourself into sympathy and empathy, which is very
Totally.
important for mankind and being kind and
Yes.
caring for one another and keeping this world a safe place, because when you're desensitized, you're not making those connections. You don't know how to look into somebody's eyes. You become cold
Mm-hmm.
and just maybe not as caring of a person. So that's what you're setting your kids up for when you can't maintain eye contact with them because you have to check your
Mm-hmm.
phone every other minute.
Mm-hmm. And there was a whole part in the research that I did for this column where they talked about how that distraction, I wrote about it a bit, where you know, go off and play for a while. It's not that's not distracted parenting. That's normal parenting. When the child is bigger, they've got friends around, they've got cousins, whatever. Okay, you guys go play, go play. That's fine. That's understandable. They're not going to be in your face all the time. But the
Mm-hmm.
distracted part, when we pick up our phone and we're constantly referring to it, they don't know when we're going to be present and when we're going to be on our screen. And they might be looking up and going, Mama, look, Mama, look, Mama, look. And we're just on our screen in another zone. And, so they just don't know when they can't depend on knowing when we're going to be available to them.
Yes. And the correlation that they mentioned in the study with ER visits and phone
Yes.
usage, like you're literally putting your kid's life in danger.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes. There are lots of studies online. You guys go look it up. It's scary. If you don't believe me or us, you go Google distracted parenting. And I mean, it's scary.
Yeah. I mean, that alone should make you want to, not that you have to be staring at them the whole time, but just paying attention to them because then maybe they're fighting for your attention. So they're going to act a little more out of pocket to get your attention and do more dangerous things.
Oh yeah, children's behavior goes wild. They know if you're not that you're not paying attention, you're distracted. What you said earlier,
Yes.
being present,
Yes.
being right here in the room. You might be making dinner, you might be, I don't know what you're doing around the house. You might be tidying up. You might be doing a project that you need to work on. That's all fine. You don't have to be fully 100% present with them every single minute. No, that's not what we're saying. But it's the being in the room. Your body, your mind are right here and not flitting off to some other place on the planet because that's what's on your screen.
Yeah. And then when your kids are like, Mama, look, Mama, look, Mama, look, and you're not paying attention, and then you snap back. It's not like if you're cooking
Yeah.
and your kid's like, Mommy, Mommy, Mom, like you're in the moment. So you can say, I'm sorry, I'm cooking this right now. Give me 1 second. When
Yeah.
you're in the phone, you're in the zone and you cannot, and then you react, you get irritated, and it's
Yeah,
not.
and there's so much information now about how addictive these devices are, especially if we're on social media. And it's so addictive. And if your addiction gets interrupted by that mama, 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 yeah, wow, you are not going to respond kindly a lot of the time. You may be having big reactions.
Yeah. It,
And that's
you,
not fair.
um, did you hear about why Facebook when it went on pause or what happened when
No, tell
Facebook
me.
and Instagram and everything shut
Hmm.
down? And
Yeah.
do you know why that happened? I heard, I don't know, but it makes sense. But that a whistleblower had released information that was bad for them. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick to this
No,
theory.
no, I did. That was on the news actually.
Oh yeah, so
Mhm.
and like in harmful ways, they were trying to get you more addicted, and
Yeah.
that's not ethical. But I remember seeing on Facebook these stupid videos. I still see them, and I'm sorry, but that's what they are. They're like a 15-minute long video. They have like shears, shaving cream, paper, deodorant stick, and they're like, we're going to teach you how to do a trick with it. But the whole point of the video is to keep you on Facebook, and it's the dumbest thing. So
Mm.
it makes you like, what are they gonna do? And you're looking at it, and the whole time they're like, so we're just gonna do this, and then they take the longest time to do it, and it's so
Oh, I
frustrating.
think I got caught on one of those.
Ah,
It was somebody, oh my gosh, that's probably what it was. It
and
was
they
somebody
just
decorating a cake.
yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
it went on and on and
Yep.
on. And now she's going to do this and it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful and so cool. And now she's going to do this and it's going to be so cool. And it was like all the comments coming on were like, just do it already. What's going? And it was on like it. I mean, it must have been 20 minutes. She could have done it in 3. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I
Yes.
didn't listen. I didn't watch for 20, but I was like, what was that? Oh my gosh. I got caught on one. It was so
Yes.
annoying. Oh, that's funny.
Very, very annoying. But I think when I heard about that, that's what it made me think of those videos, just trying to keep you on Facebook longer to get their stats up or whatever. And you get stuck 20 minutes watching a pointless video when your kid is
Oh,
asking you for a snack or trying to show you a cartwheel they just did. And
yeah. I have to say, at least I watched that when I was alone. I was not with children or another human. Like, let's just look at it again, as we like to point out on our podcast here. What if it's your significant other and you want to have a conversation?
Mhm.
There's something that you want to say, and your significant other is on their phone,
We've had that argument.
right?
Yeah.
How does that go? Honey, I actually want to talk to you. Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. No, I actually want to talk to you and I want you to be listening.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the rudest things is when you're talking to somebody, a friend, your parent, and you're literally talking to them and they're
Mm.
just looking at their phone saying, okay,
Oh,
you're not looking at your phone and listening to me. You're not.
no.
And I think that's so rude. And maybe I've done it, but I'm very conscious of not doing it because I think
Mhm.
it's so rude.
Okay, I've been in the dating world a bit too. And so one of the things I know is that like when the girl gets up to go walk to the washroom, the man like likes to watch her go and waits for her to come back. Well, no, in this day and age,
No.
you come out of the washroom and you're like all excited to see him and he's on his dang
Yeah.
phone. Like, no, you're here on a date with me. And yes, I went to the washroom for 3 minutes, but come on. Yeah.
Yes.
It's, and if we feel like that as adults, imagine what those little brains are feeling when it's pretty constant for them that
Yeah.
there's the whole thing about when you go out for a coffee or a meal or something with friends, don't put your phones on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get them out of your pocket or your purse, because what it indicates if it's sitting there is something else might come up that's actually more important than you. And I might have to deal with that. You
Yes.
guys, I come from the era where the phone was attached to the wall. The best you might have is a really long cord that you could bring the handset over to you when you were sitting somewhere. Usually you had a table that you had to sit at, or the wall you had to stand at with a seat beneath it. So we do not need to have our phones at our dinner table or our
Or
coffee table.
when you were on the phone, the internet didn't work. Do you remember that? No.
Oh, yeah.
The internet stopped once you're on a phone call.
Yeah.
Well, it never stops now.
I know.
But I like the things that you mentioned, like turn off your notifications, set a timer, no phones at the dinner table. Maybe try using your phone only for calls and text messages and nothing else, like
Yeah.
using an alarm clock for an alarm.
Well, you can also take off the social
Crazy.
media off your phone
Yeah.
and just have to sit at your computer. If you want to go on social, you got to be sitting somewhere and doing that, right?
Mm-hmm. Designated time. Because then throughout the day, if you're also, it's just another thing about constantly being interrupted by your phone, you're just losing focus. And then to get back into
Mhm.
that focus when you're completing a task, it's difficult.
It's very disturbing when I did the research for this column again. You know, the amounts of of actual accidents, just going back to the moment for a moment, actual accidents that are happening to the physical accidents that are happening, let alone the psychological neglect. I'm sorry, but let's just call it
Mm-hmm.
what it is.
Mm-hmm.
When you're on your phone, you are neglecting to be present with your child. So we want to encourage you. This is a new year. We got some new ideas for how to live life better. We want to encourage you to be off your phone and with your children.
Just be present. Be present with the present. The
Yeah,
present is called present for a reason. It's a
that's
present.
right. That's right. Be present right here, right now. All right. Thank you so much for listening to today. And we really, really would love to hear your feedback.
And a screenshot of your phone usage if you
All
dare.
right. Okay.
If you dare.
We'll have to post ours to get you started.
Yes. And we'll start a thread.
All right.
And
Okay. I'm scared because
no bashing, no bashing.
no bashing, just being kind and supporting one another in breaking this addiction. I just started mine today, so we'll see how I do.
And
Yikes.
the first step is acceptance. So looking
That's
at
right.
that number and realizing, wow, that's bad. And
Or wow, that's a lot. We don't even have to label it good or bad.
we
It's
don't
just
have to
it's a
label
lot.
it good or bad. Yeah, it's a lot. Let's just try to cut back, even if it's 10 minutes a day. And hopefully it works.
Yeah.
It works itself down. But good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, let us know how it goes.
Yes.
We love you guys.
Love you. Take care.
Thanks for being here with us in our virtual village. We'd love you to join our Facebook group at The Village Parenting Community and on Instagram at The Village Parenting Pod.
And if you enjoy our podcast, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, if you have a moment, please leave us a review. It makes a big difference for us in reaching more parents out there who may be feeling alone.
Please direct message us to connect also. We absolutely love hearing from you. And until next week, we'll be keeping it real and raw right here with you.
This podcast is sponsored by the Singing Amma's private parent coaching and workshop offerings, and also by Enlightened Designs for Crafty Mamas.